So before we bring our group up, I have Robyn here from All Star, a sponsor, and I want to share that she does the work of the Lord GV Black because her team has helped my dental team hire multiple team members because it is never been more difficult to fill out your football team at a dental practice. I use football team, Robyn, because you need a lot of people to make it go. Basketball teams are 5 people. Dental offices are way more like football teams. And we've seen that when you're missing a key football player like a quarterback or a kicker, your team loses. So tell us, Robyn, a day in the life of what you do in interacting with dentists.
Great question. And Paul, thanks for having me. Amazing experts already. I'm taking diligent notes myself. So, a day in the life is we help practices across the country hire everybody but associate dentists.
Awesome.
That's why we have you guys at Dentist Job Connect. And we are partnering with our clients. We become an extension of the practice. So I would hope that people know that you do not have to do this alone.
Right.
And the old way of hiring has completely gone out the window, and you really have to embrace new technology, new ways of finding quality team members. And that's the other part too, is we're not looking just for a heartbeat and a warm body, even though some dentists come to us and say, that's all I need right now. We want to help them find truly a long-term committed quality team member. And so we go through, much like Kate and much like the other experts here, we go through a process of getting to know the client because we do want to represent them the best way possible. And we want to make sure that we understand their needs. What Mary was just talking about, expectations. Absolutely. Yeah. We have to understand, the role, what is the expectation, what didn't work before, what did work. And that really helps us go out and find those incredible team members.
I love that. Talk to us about how a lot of offices, maybe with good intentions, fumble the job post. I want to hear more about that.
Great question. They fumble in the sense that they think, okay, dental hygienist, let's pick that position, or dental assistant, and they list all the things that a clinical assistant or hygienist needs to do. I think we all know in the dental world what those particular positions do. So we say, focus on what makes you different. If your UEP, your unique employer proposition, we celebrate birthdays, or we invest in continuing education, that's what team members are looking for when they're looking for a new opportunity, is what else is out there that I may not be getting here where I am. Appreciation, showing appreciation, doing the things that really help you stand out, much like you market the practice for why patients should choose you. You want to become that employer of choice, not change.
I love that. I invested in upgrading our websites with the intention of making it more attractive to hygienists, assistants, and front desk team members. Because if you're going to go work, we hire Dental Nachos.
Great idea.
And people go, I checked out your website and what you do. So I do want my website to drive new patients. I have a lot of thoughts on how much websites drive new patients or don't drive new patients. I'm not an expert, but I definitely know that when you apply for a job, you're going to click on the website, and I'll use another Sebastian Maniscalco joke. If your website looks like when the internet was invented, it is not going to create a lot of trust. So I think that's another key point in seeing that.
Absolutely.
Another thing I want to kind of strain out for you before we bring the whole group on is the onboarding program. Because I've heard people say, oh, their onboarding program is watch Susie. She doesn't know what she's doing either, but just watch her. And I say that in jest. But talk to us about how onboarding programs are supposed to be important, are important, and how you can highlight that through the process.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. And you're not kidding when you say, watch Susie and you'll figure it out. That is not an onboarding program. Same thing with the idea that, they have 12 years experience as a dental assistant or a hygienist. Of course they know what to do. Well, they have that experience in somebody else's office. So you do have to show them your systems. Thad talked about having a vision. You have to have those core values, those competencies that you have to share with this new person. You have to bring them into your team. And it's pretty intimidating sometimes as a new team member walking into an established team that have been working together for years, and you're the new kid on the block. Then you have to really hunker down and get to know what kind of practice this is, the values, how we align, what resonates with the team member. And what I also like to talk about, not only are you onboarding them in the beginning, but this isn't just, the first 90 days and then you're done and then you stop training. No, you're ever boarding. You are
I like that.
constantly helping team members integrate into the team and learn new things and learn new technology and really help move the practice forward.
One, I love sharing that. One of the inspirations for all I've done is someone named Vincent Connor. Sadly, he passed away years ago, but he was our first practice consultant in 2005. And we hired him to help us create an associate agreement for me. And this is back in 2005. He flew to Philadelphia, spent so much time with him, and he really inspired me to do more with consulting and coaching, because then he helped us with our team. This is 20 years ago. And my dad, who was an amazing dad, said, Vincent, I just get so tired of saying the same thing over and over and over again. And he said, I worked with a very successful car dealer in like Colorado, let's say, and he owned many, many, many car dealerships. And Vince said the same thing to him. He looked at me and he said, management is repetition, right? And as cliche as that sounds, it's so key, right? It's continually reinforcing, going back to your core values, not missing out on things. And I think that's the things they don't teach us in dental school, but that's why team members stay, right? Where people feel they're part of a culture where important things matter and training is matter. So I know I'm just ranting about this story, but I love what you shared there.
Absolutely. Well, James Clear with Atomic Habits says
Yeah.
consistency over intensity, right? So
Yes.
this is a long-term consistency, repetition. And I would say the number one key component from an HR standpoint when it comes to buying or selling a practice is truly ending or closing the relationship with the seller. Because team members, you might be, as buyers, you might be inheriting some team members, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's good, sometimes not so good. So you want to make sure that that relationship ends and they terminate that and get rehired under the new owner, the buyer. And that can be a very emotional time because Mary, I think, was speaking about, the dental debt, the dental student debt. A new buyer may not be able to offer all the amazing benefits that somebody who's been practicing for 30 years has earned, right?
One of my tips for when I was a broker, and I was just giving it as a fellow dentist, is closer to the end of your career, give more bonuses than raises, because bonuses can be removed, but you cannot say to someone, hey, you used to make $35 an hour. Now you're going to make 32. That is a recipe for someone leaving. But let's just say you have a key team member and they're getting a quarterly bonus of $1,000 because they're doing extra. The new buyer could tell a story and say, hey, we would like to get back to that, because it's a two-way street, right? The team has to realize they get to work in the same place they get to work at. The new buyer has to realize they have to get them on their side. Well, you guys do the work of the Lord GV Black. People can reach out to us, connect with All Star. You make dreams happen.